Good morning. Exactly 4:31. Don't know if you can see the dogs. It's a bit dark in that corner. No, you won't be able to see it. I've got a wide angle and it won't give me flash on this wide angle. Settled down last night about 9 o'clock. Wind was just light, but to me I could see a front coming in, and I knew it would do one or two things. It would either go very dull and dead, so that's why I got in at 9, or 2, there is a front actually coming in with some rain, and it'll get real blustery, and it was the second. It did start raining, light drizzle, showers, and the wind picked up all through the night. And I've been buffeting the tent. I've gone out there, I'd say about 12, 15, maybe 18 miles an hour, which isn't much, but we're in the open. But there is supposed to be gusts up to 27 today, so what I've done is gone around the tent, put rocks around the pegging points, and if it gets worse I'll get bigger rocks, because it's a real stable structure with that pole. It just needs making sure the guy lines don't rip out, because I've only got standard pegs in there which came with the tent, which are really rubbish. As I say, I did know the gusts might be 27, but when it tells you things like that, you just don't know if it's going to turn out to be 27 or it's going to turn out to be like 15, because at this time of year you just can't predict anything. So we had no midges, which has been a godsend, because I got a lovely night's sleep without a head net. Woke up, as I say, several times, listening to the rain. Only light showers, nothing really heavy. Let the dogs out. I can't remember what time it was, about 12, and it was windy then. So, but it's been picking up through the night, over the night, and it's getting stronger and stronger. So the volunteers that turn up today are not going to be met with the best of conditions, because it's going to be quite blustery out there, I think. But again, make sure they don't pitch inside the tree line, because branches do fall off them trees, and there's evidence of that all around the place. So keep them well away from it inside the trees. I don't know what the search is going like. Stella's still limping on her rear leg, so we'll see. She might have to rest. I've got the fire going, not so much because it's cold. It's nowhere near as cold as the other morning, but just it's nice, isn't it, at 4 o'clock in the morning to get a fire going and get things heating up. So I'm hoping that'll go. I'll have a look in a minute. And I've got plenty of wood, as you can see, so I just put like one of these on every now and then just to keep the fire going. So I don't want it to be an inferno. I just want it to burn, so we don't get chilly in the morning. So just let the dogs out, had a look around, as I said, settled the tent down just in case any pegs pull out, and it's grey, murky, and not the most loveliest of mornings. So I'll see you later on. See how my fire's going. Uh-oh. Stiff handle. Yeah, she's gonna burn. Just take a while. Right. Yeah. The winds are picking up. Oh, that's rainwater running down the pipe. That's been in. I've got like a rubber cover, so I bet there was some water still in it. When the wind picked up, it blew it down. Right, that's no problem. As long as I don't put the fire out. See you later. Good morning and welcome to Camp Armageddon. It looks like Armageddon in here, but as you can hear, the winds are still going. If anything, they got a bit stronger, consistent, and the showers are consistent. They're kind of little breaks of 10 minutes, then they're back, 10 minutes back. Typical Highland weather. So I've had breakfast, fed the dogs. Oh God, got a puddle. It's dripping down from. So, luckily, I've got a what you call it, chamois, just for that job. And drying the dogs off. I had a great night's sleep. Can't complain about my sleep. I put the fire on at 4:41. I think I showed you on the video. Sorry, I'm half asleep still. It's 9:09. The main group of hikers would have met up at 9. That was the plan. So around now they're probably setting off, just getting ready to set off, and they're going to get soaked, the poor devils. It's not really heavy rain, but it's that kind of consistent drizzle that will absolutely drench you. I feel sorry for them. It's not cold, I've got to be honest, otherwise I would have had the fire on and then the drip wouldn't have been a problem because it would have burnt the drip away. See, that's the problem. If you look at this square patch I put in, I think they're called jacks, ain't they? You're supposed to sew them in, and I tried, because the jack's quite thick, it's made of fireproof material, and then the canvas is quite thick. I tried sewing, even with a self-stitcher, which would have took forever, but pushing it through the two sets of fabrics, it was just, that's quite solid fabric on the edges. It's doubled because it's got Velcro. Was a no-no. That wasn't going to work. So I used a special tent glue as such and glued it on. Now I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but it's doing the job. But the problem is the jack they gave me, I didn't think about checking the center hole, and it's way too big, and that is just standard jack, so they don't do different sizes for the pipes, which doesn't make sense. There must be a really big pipe. So I used a piece of the rubber of an old another type of jack. Yeah, you can see the drip coming down now. But what I've got to do is I've got another square jack as such, and I'm going to cut a circle of it, and I'm going to fit it to this pipe size, just slightly, about a millimetre too small, and then I'm going to glue that round that hole, and then the jack will be in. The pipe will go through really more or less tight and snug. One, it'll help prevent any midges coming in, but two, it's probably prevents some drips. You're always going to get drip because if it ain't on, the water's going to run down the pipe. But that's what happens. That's why you have a chamois or something ready for it. That's the issues you're going to have. It's a very minor issue, so there's nothing to cry about. Dogs, I've moved their blankets out of the way. Stella's leg is still a bit stiff and playing her up, so it looks like she's going to be having a rest day today. I don't think she'll argue, to be honest. I think she'll be quite content staying in the tent. These two probably want to go out. I've got to get changed. I'm still in my bed clothes. So it's now waiting for these other hikers, searchers to turn up and see what they're going to do. First thing they're going to have to do is pitch up and try and dry off a bit. So you see, if you listen now, the drizzle will start, but within 5 minutes it'll be back again. So it's like, and it's kind of that drizzle that kind of blows in the wind, so you can actually see it coming at you. So not the best to be out hiking. What is it, 4 miles? Thankfully it's not that heavy rain, as I say, so river levels ain't going to change. It's minor, it's just going to soak into the ground base here. So I've got to change into my day clothes so I don't get these wet. Brush my teeth, which I forgot yesterday, and pick out any dog droppings that I might have missed, because I don't want anyone treading in them. So I've got an hour and a half to do that. So I'm just waiting to see what other drips I've got. It's not bad though. You're going to get drips. That's going to happen. Sorry. I'm straying, my mind's straying. I'm talking to you and I'm looking over another dog. Rogue, leave my wood alone. She seems to like stealing my wood. No, it's not yours, it's mine. I chopped it, it's mine. Okay? Want to fight about it? A prong collar slipped over what you call it. There's a right mess there. What am I going to do with my dogs? Anyway, I'll sort that out as well. typical morning mess, chaos. The only one that's look. I think she'd sleep all day, she would. Right, anyway, bless her. Right, I've got jobs to do, so I've got to leave you and sort this wretch out. Update at Camp Armageddon. Things are a bit damp, so I put the fire on. Why not, eh? One, it'll dry the tent out. Also, it'll take a lot of the moisture out in here. Last thing I want is dogs being wet, bedding being wet, and Stella being worse. The other two would probably be hardy as anything. But look, they're Dutch Eastos and all. We're just riding it through. We'll wait for the main group to turn up, which should be in about 15 minutes, I reckon. Around about 11 o'clock. They'll probably set off late. Saw someone with a dog walking up, but I thought they were coming this way, but no, they've gone past. They've either gone to pitch at Loch Dochard, or different, you know, just a normal hiker doing his normal thing. So no sign of anyone yet. I really honestly thought people would turn up last night, you know, late evening. I bet a few wish they did, because they would have been in the dry. But we've got to see how many turn up. I've checked all the pegging points, they're nice and tight, no problems there. Another reason I put the fire on, we were getting loads of drips and all that. Now I've done that, that stopped everything, because any water's just been burnt off outside. What it was doing is hitting the pipe and then running down the pipe. So let's see. I mean, the forecast I had was the odd shower, but obviously that has changed. We've got something coming in and through, so we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully it's not all day, otherwise it's like sitting in the tent day, isn't it? Because you can't do much in the pouring rain, can you? All you're going to do is get soaked, get wet, cold, trudging through bog. Not much is going to be achieved doing that. A lot of people will be miserable and fed up, even though they volunteered to do it. I mean, it's not going to be the best thing to do, is it? You want dryish weather. You don't mind the odd shower, but not consistent showers. Believe it or not, the sun's popping its head out now, but I've looked outside and it's grey. We get the odd break. Tell you what, that stove is just wow. It's called the Highlander, and wow. And it's got glass round 3 sides, and does it make a difference? Well, worth bringing that. That's been a real lifesaver. I mean, we've not been in sub-zero temperatures, but as I say, the first morning it was close to 0. Put that on at 4. Wow. Straight away it felt different. And right now, with this moisture, if you look at the ground, it's already drying off. Main aim is don't get soaked, because if everything gets soaked, it gets miserable. That's why I brought this. So paid off, didn't it? Sometimes you bring the gear and you carried it for nothing. Other times you bring the gear and it's paid off, and this time it's paid off. So I'm trying to work out, because every new stove is different, isn't it? So I'm trying to close them vents so much so it doesn't burn quickly. I just want it simmering. So the aim is to get the wood to burn slowly, but not burn out, because otherwise you've got to keep starting it all again. That was another good thing I did last night, chopping all that wood, because now it'll be all soaked. I mean, I can bring wood in now, because with the heat it'll dry off, but it was great cutting all that wood. I did it, and I don't know what made me do it, but something in my head said cut some wood, and it paid off. Right, 10:13, tent bound. The odd break, the odd sunny spell. Looks bright out there now, but won't be for long. At least we got no midges. There's always a positive to a negative, isn't there? I'm just hoping it'll burn off, blow through. I mean, sorry, the bad weather by what, 12, 1ish. Then we can do some searching. I'll probably leave Stella here. I don't think she'll complain, to be honest. Not if you put a rug over. She's still struggling with her back leg. you wouldn't have believed it if you saw the videos yesterday, jumping in the loch, running around, and just shows, doesn't it? As soon as she stops, it catches up with her, poor thing. But we're keeping her going. I don't know how, but we're keeping her going. And she's having a great life, even if it's her final days. And I don't mean that literally. I don't know how long it's going to be. You know what I mean? It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. I don't know. I'm trying my best to keep her going. Right. I'll see you in a bit when something happens. At the moment, it's quite a boring video, isn't it? Well, you don't always get excitement. Come on. But don't it look like chaos? Don't it look like a tip? But it's an organised tip, believe it or not. Up there I've got fire starting gear like firelighters, lighter, pushed away so they don't get too hot, because that's the back end. Hence you've got to have the stove a good metre away nearly, all the way round, because the heat it gives off. Wood, that's fine, that will dry out with the heat from the stove, so that's perfect. Their bedding stuffed in a corner so it's out the way so they don't jump on it and get it wet for tonight. Just brilliant, brilliant. It's all organised. My sleeping bag out the way, not near the fire, because if I put it here where I'm sitting, the dogs could then nudge it and it would be near the fire. We'd have a fire in the tent and that won't be good. Some of my gear tucked underneath the cot, which is paid off having a cot. Unbelievable. You can tuck your gear on. I've got my slippers under here. So it's organised chaos. Tons of firewood in a carrier bag over there. So, yep. And outside, all the main stuff I use through the day, as well as my boots and God knows what else. Right. Talk to you through it. Not much else I can talk about, which makes a change for me, doesn't it? Right, catch you later. An update on everything. People are searching around the loch. The easier areas, not too risky. It's only about 8 people, I think. I'm guessing now. And that's including a BBC journalist. Came back, checked on Stella, she's fine. Still got a bad leg, but she's fine. Gave her medication, fed these 2 because they need feeding. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a walk up this gorge or whatever. I've got my personal locator beacon. I'm used to doing these kind of things, but I'm being extra cautious because the weather's not the best. I mean, it looks lovely over there. If we could get some sunshine, I'd scream for that at the moment. But we've got to cross over because if Neil, who was camped at Loch Dochard, went missing, if he did go for a stroll and came all the way down here and started going wandering, he would be on that side, he wouldn't be over this side, so I've got to find a way across over. I think it's lower down up there, so we'll try that. So, you're going to get a lot of wind noise. I'm sorry. I apologise. But we're all meeting up back near Loch Dochard at the wooden shed for 5. I don't know what time it is now, it's probably 2. So it gives me 3 hours to get up here, get across and get up. See how high we can get up. Oh, there's some deer over there, I don't know if you can see them. There's deer I've seen in a few days. Right, so I'll take photos and talk when I can, but you're going to get a lot of wind noise. It's amazing, isn't it? There's rock. Why you'd be over here, 1,000,000 to 1 chance, but you won't know until you check them here. Now, Mountain Rescue checks so far, but again there's some ruins further up. You don't know what crossed his mind, or if he cut across some real rough terrain and ended up over here. None of it makes sense, but that's the whole point. It doesn't have to make sense, because when people go missing, sometimes they don't stick to common sense. So just watching my dogs don't fall down and become a casualty themselves. Thank God Stella's not doing this. It's getting to the point, I think, with poor Stella, that she's going to be remaining in the tent all through the days. It's just getting too much for her, I think. It's not, I mean, before anyone thinks, you know, it's because I took her out around the loch, it's not that. When I'm at home, I can only walk her like a mile around the block. Every evening, she just seizes up every evening. It doesn't matter what she does. Even on days when I have rest days, and she does no walking at all, she seizes up. So she seizes up if she's not walking, she seizes up if she's doing little walks, and she seizes up if she's having too much fun. It's just getting to a point I can't do much more for her. It's going to come to the hard choice soon, to watch her wither away or to call it a day with her. I don't want to do that, but there's no point if she can't stand up or she can't walk, is there? Hard choice. But she's had a good time. I mean, she's extended it for a good 12 months, so we've had some fun during that 12 months as well, and she's done wonders. But I think age has just caught up with her. Poor thing. Anyway, pushing on. I've got to check on the map and see how far the mountain rescue went, because we'll go further. So I know I've covered it. So it goes out in steps, this. So you go high, then it levels off, then it goes up, then it levels off. I'm checking the water line, obviously, because that could be a place where you could have ended up falling or landing or ending up by rolling down the hill or anything like that. We're getting pretty high because look, we're not on top of the big Munro or whatever it's called, but we're getting onto that table which I've been on before, and that is a trek up there. It's quite mossy. So I'm trying to get to the point where on the OS map it's number 23. The box is the grid reference box. So I'm getting to where 23 is on the map, and I want to push a little bit further beyond, because there's supposed to be some ruins if I can find them, that is. At least it's not raining. Now I'm getting warm now. Typically you can't win, can you? But I'm trying, what I'm doing is, I got on high there because I could look down into the gorge as such. But here there was dead ground, so I've got to keep coming down to go back up. Which is a pain, but they're having fun anyway. So now look, I can walk along this edge, but soon I'm going to have to go back up again. And then you can look at the overhang as such. Right, keep going. I keep the dogs away because there's some nasty drop-off points here. Looks like deer antlers in there. Is it deer antlers? Hold on. What's that? Did he shake? It's gone. Don't know. It's either that or a piece of wood that looks like deer antlers. That's what I'm scanning for. Anything washed out on the shoreline or anything. I don't want to get too near the edge. You don't know how safe it is. this is where the camera comes in. Go back! Sorry about that. Got to keep them away from ledges where they drop offs. Well, that's the end for us. Mountain Rescue got further, but I'm guessing they used a drone, or someone was up high looking down, scanning down. But a walker wouldn't be able to get any higher than this unless he went up there, and he ain't going to do that at his age and his experience. And if he was on that side, same again, you'd have to be up high. Too risky, too many ledges, too many drop-offs. So I wanted to get a bit further, but the only way to do that is get higher, and I don't think he would have got this high. No way. So I think we'll stop here. There's no point going up there trying to overlook that when it's already been covered, and to be honest, I don't think he would go up there. Don't forget, this is a guy that's felt poorly, 71 years of age, not in the best of health. So no, he got tired walking to Loch Dochard, if we believe, and he felt ill walking to Loch Dochard. So the last thing he's going to do is start scaling this kind of thing. So no, I think we'll call it there. Head back down, try a different way down, somewhere over on the plateau or over on the top, so we can look down. Good fun, though. Crazy, but good fun. So now I'm cutting up within reason, because don't forget the guy was 71 and not that active in sense of hill walking or anything like that. So I can look down and see if anything catches my attention. Anything silly that's standing out, and also look around on the other side. You never know, you just do not know, do you? Silly things have happened. But I don't want to go too high. I don't think he's gone Monroe bagging when he didn't feel well. Keeping me fit. So I followed all the way along that riverbed, all the way along. So right near the edge, so I could see if anything was amiss as such. Wow, I can actually see the farm. That's the first time I've seen that. I should have seen that when I was on Monroe that time. Oh dear, I've just had a flash come up. Lightning strikes nearby. I'm going to have to check that one out. I'm up on a bloody halfway up on Monroe. Oh, right, give me a minute. I've got to check that. That had me worried. No panic, calm down. The lightning strikes, I'm picking reception up here. I didn't even realise. The lightning strikes are owed lightning strike warnings, probably the last 24 hours or so. So, not me. Hey, you two! Tuck it in, we can't fight up here. That had me worried. I thought I'm off out of Monroe and they're warning about lightning strikes. But no, not a problem. Right, pushing on. Killing my dogs after first though. We're about the mountain line. We're wonky here. She's doing good. Well, we've covered a lot of high ground there, just below the ridge line there. Want to get on this mound here and look down over there. Sorry about the wind. And then we'll be joining the others. I want to cover any reasonable high ground. And when I'm up there, I'll be able to see all down there. Someone's doing the tree line round there. Starting to blow good in and starting to rain off and on. All good fun, eh?